This is the Scores Are coming to you live from Scores Are Central. Da 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 da. I hate it. I'm not going to do it anymore. So forget about it. Hey, only 18 games on the schedule tonight, and um, took a couple hour break. Went down. I have a little cafe in our little condo community here. Went down, had a nice meal and a glass of wine, and time to come back and get caught up here. So let's see what's going on. So when we left, we were 2-2. Boston U had beaten Colgate, and we had Boston U. Lehigh um, beat Holy Cross. Holy Cross beat Lehigh, like the second victory of the year for Holy Cross, and of course we're on the wrong side of it. Penn beat Harvard, which I'm very proud of. So the half point here, we had Harvard winning by 3, and the line was 3.5. So made us take the dog, and the dog won. So that's good times. New Hampshire and Stony Brook. Stony Brook just absolutely crushed New Hampshire on the road. Vegas, if you're paying attention. Which brings us up to Monmouth and Canisius, and we don't know how this one finished. Monmouth 72-67. This was 11 and a half points, so we're not going to make that. So that means that we go 2-3 on this string, and as I hate when I do this. As we spoke about during the prediction show, we're chasing a bunch of road warriors tonight, and that's probably not the best course of action. So Monmouth beat Canisius 72-67. While we're down there, the Wright State Cleveland State game was on, and it was at Wright State. And boy, I tell you what, man, it's easy to sit back and make these predictions, but when you see these teams play, you're thinking, "Ooh, I didn't know they had that monster playing for them." You know, it's like things change. We'll get to Cleveland State, Wright State, 67-72 for Canisius. So Monmouth won, which is important in the MAC because they got a showdown pending with Iona, who I don't think Iona is going to have much trouble with Monmouth. But I just, those are the two best teams in the MAC. And of course, we got to get through the conference tournament. But I don't think we're going to get 2 at-large bids. Well, 1 automatic and 1 at-large. I don't think we're going to get a second at-large from the MAC. So I think Monmouth, since they're the number 2 team in the MAC, I think they're starting to realize that we better be winning some games here, because they were down most of the way. You just can't lose to Canisius if you're Monmouth at home, for crying out loud. You know, you got to do better than this. And I'm sorry to say it, but I think the end is near for Monmouth. Wyoming and Air Force. You just can't turn in performances like that. Wyoming wins 63-61. So we did have the away team winning, which in and of itself is a minor miracle, according if you're Vegas. But they did not cover, so that's a loss for us, and they're in the Mountain West. So 63-61, Wyoming over Air Force. And it matters a great deal who wins these things. But from our perspective, it's all about the point spread. And so sometimes it doesn't matter who wins. Oftentimes it doesn't matter who wins. which takes away a little bit from the game. But there's so much money involved in gambling, especially major sport like college basketball. That it's secondary. It's like who won, who covered. All right, means my bet paid or my bet didn't pay. And call me a traditionalist, but I'm all about the rankings and who's got the best team and so forth. But I'm like a moth drawn to the fire here with these point spreads and how I'm doing against the point spreads. So how am I doing against the point spreads? Well, it's another loss there for the computer. I knew tonight would not be good because we're chasing a bunch of road warriors. I think Toledo's going to win and cover here. Let's take a look and see how this game finished. Toledo 84-76. And that is a 8-point victory in 7.5. Well, I tell you what, man, nothing's easy. Everything's a freaking squeaker, man. I'll take this squeaker. Going to Mid-America, Toledo 84-76. Nothing's easy. Everything's hard. Which is why everything matters. Everything matters. Every half point matters. And in this case, clearly it mattered. Now, we were on the right side of it this time. But are we always going to be on the right side of it? No. There's plenty of times we've been on the wrong side of this half point. Plenty of times. 76-84. But a win is a win is a win. And tonight, I don't know we're going to have that many wins because we're chasing a bunch of road warriors, which is not really going to be a key to success playing this game. The game is set up for the home team to have a huge advantage, and we're just thumbing our nose at tonight. Just tonight. There's been other nights that we've taken the uneasy way, if you will, like tonight. But I don't expect this fortune to last. So here's another road warrior. We're on the side of Fairfield and Ryder. And let's go see how that finished. So Fairfield won 76-65. 1.5 point game. We're on the right side with Fairfield. So we'll take it, man. It's they're all important, every single one of them. They're in the MAC. Fairfield won 76-65. Yeah, like I say, I've covered Wright State and Cleveland State, and then I see them on TV, and it's like, wow, Wright State looks really good. Even though I know Cleveland State's a better team, boy, Wright State looks fantastic. And then you go back and you look at Wright State, and it's like, well, we'll get to it. But they don't have the greatest numbers of the world. But boy, they look good on the court. 76. I'll just confirm this. Fairfield 76-65. Correct. But it's like, boy, I tell you, just take one look at Wright State and you think, man, they would beat Duke. But in all reality, they would not beat Duke. But they sure look fantastic. We're talking Wright State, folks. I mean, they just look so impressive on TV. What's next here? PFW. Oh, this is a money line opportunity here. PFW and Northern Kentucky. Let's see who won this. PFW 49.59. So there goes our money line opportunity. There goes our win because we still had 2.5 points coming to us. And Horizon League continues to just be tough, very tough to predict. 49.59. We'll start with PFW. PFW is so strong. And then tonight, 10 points to Northern Kentucky. It's like, you used to be so strong. Just last night, you were so strong. You beat Youngstown, by a ton. You beat Robert Morris by a ton. But, now you're on the road, so it's time to, tank. I guess. I don't know why, but it's a huge part of college basketball. Yeah, they got the better numbers, but yet lost by 10. So tomorrow being Saturday, there's going to be a million games. And my buddy John said, hey, Gonzaga's playing at 6, so come over to my place. So I'm going to have a lot of work to do to get everything entered and ready to go in order to go watch that exam. John went to Gonzaga, so it's worthwhile to go visit with him while the Zags are playing. And I always enjoy it there. So hopefully that's something I get to do tomorrow. It depends on the load, if you will. Now that's been entered. St. Peter's in Manhattan. This was not working for us. Manhattan was mailing it in earlier. Let's see if they turned it around. St. Peter's is not the greatest team in college basketball history, but they did win 77-51. 5.5 was the line, and they exceeded it, so that's a loss. And I just knew, looking at the picks that we were making, we're chasing these road warriors. It's not a key to success. We go 2 and 3 on that string, and 4 and 6 overall. So we're under 500 right now, which that's not good. So St. Peter's. St. Peter's 77-51. And that's an ouchie. That one didn't have to happen. But St. Peter's been playing pretty good. And go grab Manhattan. 51-77. You haven't watched this before. What's happening is we got profiles for every team. And this is Manhattan's profile. And I entered the score for tonight's contest. And now I'm going to go grab St. Peter's overall power rating. And I'm going to insert it into Manhattan's strength of schedule column. Okay. Here's our strength of schedule column. This is defense divided by offense. So it's defense divided by offense. And they have allowed more points than they've scored. So this is going to be above 1.0. Over here at Marist, they've scored more points than they've allowed. So it's going to be under 1.0. So what we do is we multiply this, which I'm going to call the D/O, defense divided by offense. That's this number. We're going to multiply it times the strength of schedule, and it's going to produce a overall power rating. Now, if you've scored more points than you allowed, this number is going to be below that number, and it is. 11.7, and this number's so Marist has met and exceeded the level of competition. They've scored more points than they've allowed. Manhattan has allowed more points than they've scored. They failed to meet the level of competition, which is our strength of schedule. So when we take our D/O, we multiply it times strength of schedule, that number is going to be higher than this number. Okay, everyone got that? That's the magic. And this determines by how much. And this determines, this is going to be lower than that. This determines by how much. That's how the system works. I mean, that's just it. That's it in there's a lot more to it, but that's it in a nutshell. Defense divided by offense times strength of schedule equals OPR, overall power rating. It's that simple. There's no Ken Pomeroy, 10,000 different things to consider. That's not a shot. I appreciate what Ken Pomeroy does. He's amazing. But his system is rather complicated. Mine is not. Niagara and Siena. So we got Niagara laying a half a point to Siena. Let's see what happened. Niagara 56, Siena 60. Facing that damn Road Warrior. Burned us again. I knew it would. I knew it would. That's the gig, man. So today, we're not taking home court advantage into account. That's today. When everything is going to get played on a neutral court, guess who's going to shine? I'll give you one guess who's going to shine. We're just in the gathering data phase, and we want to do the best we can against the Vegas line, but this not having anything to do with home court advantage. And I can go into this. It's a very long subject. I've tried to figure out a scientific way to assign points to cover home court advantage. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't grab. There's not a definitive number I can use to just give the home team X amount of points. It's not within my realm to scientifically do it, and I'm not going to corrupt my system with some kind of arbitrary nonsense like 8 points or whatever. Because Duke gets all of 8 points. They probably get 12 points for all I know, for any home game. But does PFW, does Fairfield, does Penn, do they get as many points as Duke gets for their home court advantage? I don't think so. And I can't get a a universal number here that works. So screw it. I'm going to take my lumps. I'm going to do okay, but not great. But when neutral court hits, guess what? Everyone better step back because it's coming. Ohio, 74-53. And this was so Buffalo was favored. This is a money line conversion right here, our first of the evening. So what has happened is the underdog has won the game. And gosh, we said that top line number, we hit a lot. This bottom line number, maybe not so often, but that's a money line win. Ohio is a better team than Buffalo. And doggone it, we're going to play the better team. And in the cases like tonight, and we'll go look at this here in a second. There's a lot of money line opportunities in college basketball. A lot of them, they're out there. you just got to know. So we're 1-2. We missed on this one. We'll see what happens here. Um, but that's a money line win. You get paid back more than a straight up bet. You know, like Toledo, that's 2-1. This is greater than 2-1. So let's go to the mid-am, 74.53 Ohio. And look, 10.8 is your overall power rating. That's an excellent team. And just double check, 74.53. This is the home team losing Vegas. And it gets back to what I was just talking about. I can't get some universal number that works. So I'm just going to stick with what I know works. And they play Buffalo. And 53.74 from Buffalo's perspective. And folks, as we will find out here shortly, since December 28th, which is when we started this contest, and unfortunately I had a little bout with the beer flu, we have hit 51, now 52 money line plays. All of them are on tape. I can verify every one of them. This is not spectacular. This is not spectacular. This is the overall. It's not spectacular. No one's getting rich here. But this is borderline spectacular. I just got to say, it's impressive. You know, Vegas is really good at what they do, but they do rely on this home court advantage a lot, a tremendous amount. And we're just calling bunk on it. All right, Dayton. I'm going to refresh up here and get the final score for Dayton and Rhode Island. And it's still loading. Oh, come on. It can't be that taxing, for crying out loud. Maybe ESPN's got it loaded. $53.51. Okay, so check this out. Dayton wins 53-51. Home team, Road Warrior, but really good team, and a very good team as well. We took the dog because it was 6.5, the Vegas line 1.5. We said it'd be a 4-point contest. It ends up being a 2-point contest. This, folks, is well earned right here. This is well thought out and well executed. Let's go into the A10. And Dayton 53-51. So as much as I love that money line win we just had, I like this just as much because, you know, this was, you know, Rhode Island's a good program. Dayton is fantastic. Really good teams. I just knew it would come down to a 2-point game, 4-point game. And it did. And just double check here, Rhode Island, 51-53. There's teams you can trust. Dayton is one of them, and Rhode Island is another one. There's teams you cannot trust. North Carolina State, you cannot trust. There's a number of other ones you just simply cannot trust. But in this case, Rhode Island paid off for us. And it's because I know who I can trust, who I can't trust. I mean, I just play whatever the computer spits out, but still, I know it's going to be a good play. I know it's not going to be a good play. Marist and Quinnipiac, this is a pick 'em. My gut says Quinnipiac, and they're at home, but the computer says Marist. So let's go see what happened. So Marist ends up 87-94. So Quinnipiac was the correct play. 87-94. And I kind of, like I just said, kind of thought in my gut Quinnipiac was the correct call here. And it was. They were home. They're in the MAC. And it was 94-87 Quinnipiac. You know, Marist has the better numbers, but they are away at Quinnipiac, so you have to, you know, as much as we've talked about home court advantage, and as much as I don't believe it is a real thing, don't get me wrong, 87-94. It's just, when is it a real thing? It's not always a real thing. But when does it matter? And it mattered here, but it didn't matter Dayton and Rhode Island. It didn't matter in Penn and Harvard. So when does it matter? Well, that's why I don't do it. That's why I don't play this home court advantage game, because it's going to get you. And I'll take my lumps along the way. Now, this game, I was watching down at the bar, and Wright State came out. It was like 12-0 Wright State. And I thought, oh my God, this team is fantastic. But as it ends, Cleveland State won 71-67. They're just a better team. 71-67. And it's a money line win. Another money line win. Cleveland State's just a better team. Wright State looked fantastic tonight. But, you know, I mean, the numbers are the numbers. And the numbers can be brutal sometimes. So in the horizon, Cleveland State 71-67. Just better numbers. Watch this. 71. So it's 11.5. Okay. And as good as Wright State looked, and they were convincing, man. They had some big bodies. But look at their numbers. 11.5, remember, was Cleveland State before we entered that score. And Wright State was 12.2. Lower the lower numbers, the better. And so that's where the computer comes in. And 67-71. So this was Cleveland State on the road beating Wright State, which looked fantastic. But Cleveland State's just a better team. They're just a better team. And it proved out here on paper. All right, that's that. Go back into the big board here. We went 3-2 this string. What's another money line? So let's go put that money line down. So 2 of these, and we can look at it. 46.67% against the spread, 7 and 8. We knew we would not have a fantastic evening tonight just because the computer was chasing these road warriors. We're not done yet. We're still chasing these. This is a horrible pick. But let's see what happened in real life. New Mexico Beat San Jose State 86-70. Horrible pick. Horrible pick. No, there's just no way around it. That's a horrible pick. I knew it. I knew it when I placed it. And in real life, I would have walked away from this. But in this contest, I can't do that. So let's go to the Mountain West. New Mexico. And double check the score. 86-70. And there's nothing that says anybody should put any amount of money on San Jose State, but we did it, and we're going to learn. We're just going to learn from this one. So Mexico is 70-86. Let's populate this first, please. What happened here? Why didn't that work? There we go. 70-86. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing that says San Jose State in this contest, but the computer's still, I think, well, we'll go back and look at it. I think it was a half a point. Let's go back and look at that. Yeah, it was half a point. So, the line was 9.5, and the computer said they'd win by 9. And of course, they won by 16. But half a point, decision time. And I'm physically forced to take the dog. I would have walked away from this game in real life, but that's not how this contest is played. Colorado State and UNLV. And that is a final. Ooh, Colorado State lost. This is news. 74-88. That is news. Well, we had the dog, so it's good news. It's good news for us because the dog won. So into the Mountain West, 88-74 UNLV. This is a surprise. They're at Colorado State. Wow. This is a very surprising outcome because Colorado State's a really good team. And UNLV's good, but they're not Colorado State good, not this year. Oh, maybe they are. They just beat them head to head. What am I talking about? At home. And there we go. Double check 74-88. Wow. Our next game tipped 20 minutes ago, so we'll just get a little flavor of what's going on. We'll sign out. We'll visit this one tomorrow. Very surprising outcome here. Very surprising. Last game is Fresno and Boise, I believe. Yeah. Tipped at 8 o'clock West Coast time. It's 8:22 West Coast time right now, but let's see where we're at. Last game of the night. It is 8-5 Boise, so we're just tipping off. It's not Fresno State. I don't know what that's all about. It is Fresno State. Color this in. So 1 and 1. We'll enter these now, which makes our evening, and I thought this would be an atrocious evening. 8 and 8, 8 and 9, 47.06 with 2 money line wins. Our season total 379 to 374, 51.71. Tell you what, folks, not spectacular, but we haven't played the neutral courts yet, and that's when it's coming. That's when we get higher than 60%. I'm talking much higher. These conference tournaments are going to be very interesting, and then of course we get into the big tournament, and that's when we shine. Now let's take a look at tomorrow, January 29th, Saturday, a huge day in college basketball. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to drop this share. Stop sharing. Start sharing. And we're going to go look at what I look at. And where did it go? Where's... Oh, we down. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. CBS. 9. So there's 3, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 23, 26, 29, 32, 35, 38, 41, 44, 47, 50, 53, 56, 59, 62, 65, 68, 71, 74, 77, 83, 86, 89, 92, 95, 98, 101, 104, 107, 110, 113, 116, 119, 122, 125, 128, 131, 134, 137, postpone. So there's 137 games on tap for tomorrow. And I got to get them all predicted. We got a bunch at 9 a.m. West Coast time, a whole bunch. So I'm going to get to work on that. And we'll get the full 100 and whatever I said, 1,000,006 games. We'll get them all predicted and ready to go for you. And go out there and place your bets if you're so inclined. And we'll see how Saturday turns out. It'll be an all-day fun thing. So that'll do it for tonight. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you